I went to a horror museum and loved Traumatized.
Are you sure? Are you sure? What are we sure? We're gonna go to
these on.
I know what's like right here. Why is Taylor Swift out there? That's not. Is that Taylor Swift? Like hi.
Welcome back, guys. I am Skeleton Belle, and I went to the Michigan Horror Museum in historic downtown Monroe, Michigan. It is a 2-story horror museum all year round. They have actually pretty decent hours too. It's usually like 12 to 8 or 12 to 9. You can actually look online at their site, which I will provide down below in the description and in the comments. So if you want to go, you can get tickets online or get them there. Either way, the horror museum features real human skulls, including Sally when you walk in through, which you'll see me. I got some pictures with Sally. I really hope that was her name. I'm pretty sure Lia's skeletons were donated they donated their bodies to science, and then when science was done with them, museums have picked them up. You have human skin, full skeletons, horror movie memorabilia, which I really enjoyed, coffins, Ouija boards, a lot more, including a red room. It features real extremely graphic crime scene photos. I have seen a lot of graphic stuff in my life, but that is something that I had to actually make a therapy session for. So the rest of the museum I really enjoyed. I will be showing some of the human skeletons that are like 100+ years old. We did obviously roam around Monroe first. I went to Delirium Moon, which was a delightful little shop that carries all kind of like witchy little tidbits, rocks, teas, kind of a whole lot of just like a lot of just really cool stuff. It just screamed like a little witch shop for me, and I liked it. It was very calm in there. We also went to Nocturnal again to get some drinks, way too many drinks, coffees. We just wanted to try all these specials before they were like gonna move on, right? So I got the mummy drink, loved it. And I was also there with my best friend, you know, who streams on Twitch, Lili, and my husband. So they were helping me with recording too, but also kind of making sure I didn't run into stuff because my spatial awareness is extremely bad. So I have a tendency to not be able to walk in a straight line. It's aggravating. Walked in, didn't notice it right away, but what became one of my favorite like props, I don't know if they got it from if it was from a set or if something that the people, the owner of the museum designed, was this Freddy Krueger or Nightmare on Elm Street where he's like reaching through a little candy maker. I was right by the ET statue, and it was like right at the front door, and that I didn't see it right away somehow, but that's like one of my favorite. I know it's such a little obscure thing, but that's like one of my favorite things in the museum. Like there was a lot of cool stuff, but overall we walk in, you see that's like yes. And then of course off to the left is their all their merch and the stuff that they sell, their little museum store, and that will be shown at the very end. But as you walk through, like you get to see Sally, get your picture in like a coffin that's stood up. There's was like surgical tools and stuff that a doctor, I believe from the 1800s or maybe the early 1900s, had collected blood slides. So they actually have the blood slides from that, and they gave me some from the shows I watch. I'm just like, Dexter. But yeah. So really cool, lots of human skeleton. One of them was like the full skeleton in a case, and I guess you consider them pickled punks. A lot of stuff that was in jars in formaldehyde, like animals and fetuses from who knows how long ago. You see lots of different human bones, including like a slice of human brain. You're gonna see different music, like for a musician who is now deceased. You'll see some of they have like the guitar and some video from that. Like I said, lots of different human skulls that the age of them is estimated. They don't actually know the exact age of these things. Lots of true crime stuff on the wall before even the red room, and it's not as they don't have the graphics. It's like news articles and clippings and actual letters that some of them, including I believe Dahmer, maybe there's some remains from Manson, and the Night Stalker, they had some stuff from him as well. The letters are a little disturbing to read, hard to read because, man, not surprising, they had terrible handwriting. But yeah, kind of a little explicit to read, so, you know, read at your own discretion if you go. If you're disturbed easily, maybe don't. Again, this stuff's intermixed with some of the human remains and movie props, and the movie props, I don't know, those are probably my favorite thing there. Also, there were haunted objects. I think all of them were on the second floor for the haunted objects though. And oh, the life masks. The life masks were really cool. They're right by the red room.
What kind of place is this?
Like right before you go in, but there's just like 3 of them. I will say just one of those things, like I really enjoy the just lighting of the whole museum, and like the music is very loud. You'll hear bits and pieces from the GoPro and my phone. Even going upstairs, they have just movie posters, even on the walls. I believe one of them, when you hang up, if you look up, they have like clothes from movies, like some of the actors were wearing, and I believe those clothes hanging up were from Beetlejuice, from the married couple who passed away and was in, like not in real life, but in the movie. They also had the brick door from Beetlejuice, which I apparently no one else realized over there. I was like, oh look, they have it. Then again, it's also like you'll see it as soon as like you exit the red room and take a left. So I guess if you're kind of shocked from the red room, yeah, you're not gonna notice the chalk door. I like the chalk door. It's just the thing in Beetlejuice that stood out to me. They do have like an electric chair in the red room that you can get a picture with if that's your thing, and like take a shocking selfie. I'm not going to show that either because there is graphic photos surrounding that. You'll see my reaction from coming out of the red room.
I feel weird.
You should.
That reaction is a very good mix of like, it's horror, but like I'm very confused with how I felt because I also felt like a little nauseous. I will say, autism is a beautiful thing. Because I saw the red room and everything in it when I went in, and I'm like recording with my phone, taking pictures, right? And nothing registered. And I didn't realize nothing was registering myself until my husband and Lili said something to me, because they're like, I don't think she's realizing what she's seeing. And then they were explaining it to me that like these things were real, because I remembered what the front of house employee told me, and then those words I had so carelessly forgot, thanks to my ADHD, that these are real graphic pictures, as in real people that are deceased. Obviously, like I said, I can't show it. It'd be just one giant blur, and I wouldn't want to anyways, but you could see my reaction and how weird I felt. And I was just like, how is it that like I can remember every little detail in like a haunted house for when I want to do my reviews. I go through, but like upon entering and exiting the red room, I didn't even realize the thing that you walk through to enter and exit was a real used body bag. I'm sure it was sanitized, but a body bag nonetheless. And we were told that, and I just nothing in my brain clicked that was going on. And upon seeing that, I could see why the show Maybe Dexter was inspired. Like, oh my God, the things in that room haunted me. I kept having like, I felt weird, and then when I got home, I kept having flashbacks to certain pictures that I saw, and they wouldn't go away. I don't think anything will ever compare, and I hope nothing ever does, because that was truly awful. If, like I said, I don't think I have a weak stomach by any means, but if some people might be able to handle that stuff way better than I can, just warning you, even for those people who think they're really strong, that will affect you probably. I don't think you're gonna go away feeling 100% okay after seeing all that stuff. It is literally the worst human nature has to offer, in my opinion. From there, we got to see the life masks in slightly more detail, which I don't know if I took those in quite as well as I would have before. But yeah, the Beetlejuice door is helped kind of wash my brain a little bit. And then we went up the stairs, which it's not caught super well on camera, thankfully. I struggle going upstairs because I do have neurological issues and heart issues, so like going up, you'll see me holding the railing. I don't have good balance. Going upstairs is difficult for me. It's not like the best situation, but you know what, it was fun because like I was also trying to look at stuff like all the different old movie posters, news clippings going up, and different movie props and stuff that was signed by actors and directors. It was just really cool to see all that stuff, okay? Like some of them, by the way, some of the exhibits are for more recent movies too. They're not old, they're not all classic movies. The ones that are classic, I definitely respect. I love it. It was awesome. Posters from The Shining, Cujo, which I've never seen Cujo. I probably should. I feel like that's like a horror classic, right? Night of the Living Dead, which I've also never seen, and I kind of feel bad about that one. They have like a thing, I don't know if it was like a prop from the movie, but or something that they made, but they had a thing from Alien. That I was like, oh, this is kind of disturbing, because then the face latchers, and it had like fingernails, and I don't know, the fingernails are kind of disturbing, like really cool, but like really disturbing, and it was on one of those eggs. And when you go up the stairs, as I'm struggling, you get to see all these cool pictures, change of lighting. You're gonna, if you go straight ahead, you'll see the taxidermy room. That's what I'm calling it. Lots of bones, lots of different furs. They have giraffe bits there. I'm sure like all these came from museums or auctions. I do know he got a lot of the movie stuff from auctions. I want to know like, and like the giraffe probably came from. It's just for me, that's just like such a weird thing. It's like, where the heck did you get a giraffe? And we make little jokes about it because, you know, Vine was a thing. They also have like UFO, like it's not real stuff, it's just like, oh, look at this, what someone made. Something that like kind of reminded me of like the Fiji mermaid, if you know what that is. And then me being weird, because when I get nervous and I want to get pictures of something, I just use my thumb. I don't know, my hitchhiker's thumb makes me feel better about life. We used the GoPro to get more overall footage, but my phone was to capture more detailed footage of everything. You'll see like they had, I think it was clowns from outer space, and I've never seen that. I feel like it'd be funny, because I was, you know, I saw that, I was like, I don't know what this from looks like, something from Spirit Halloween. And they had little things, so they had like stuff from the X-Files, which is really cool, because I watched that when I was like really wee. And they had stuff from Trick or Treat, which I finally saw, I think was that last year or the year before. I think it was last year. It was the first time I saw Trick or Treat. I love Sam. I even have a beanie behind me. They had Gremlins, and I was super stoked about the Gremlins exhibit, because I watched Gremlins since I was tiny. And it was one of the, I rewatched it last year. I forgot how violent Gremlins was. That mother sticking the gremlin into the blender. They have just a lot of like, one of the ones I've not seen is Lost Boys, and I've gotten a lot of people are like, you have to watch, my friends are like, you have to watch the Lost Boys. Like, why, what's wrong with you? I haven't watched it. I was like, I don't own it, and I haven't been able to find it on streaming. So if it comes in October, maybe it'll be on like Hulu or something, and I'll finally watch the Lost Boys, because I know that there's like a cult following for that. I was like, I might as well see it. I don't know if I'll like it, but I might as well see it.
Victorian era wicker basket coffin. These caskets were also known as transfer baskets, used to transport the bodies of those who died while away from home. Practically speaking, they were more lightweight and easier to carry than a coffin made of wood.
There.
Oh, hey dude.
I almost tripped on the caskets twice, because they're on the floor, and like I said, I'm not very observant apparently. I have no, even though I know something's there, it's like I'll still run into it. It's a problem at haunted houses too. Like I will view it. I don't know. I don't understand why my spatial awareness is so bad. Because like I'll see it and I think I move out of the way and then I don't. What are the they had Walking Dead stuff. They had House of Wax. I saw I don't really remember anything about House of Wax, except that Paris Hilton was in it, and then someone had like a pair of shears and cut someone's Achilles tendon. That's like the only two things I remember about that movie. I was like, of course it'd be like the most brutal scene. I mean, there's probably worse ones, but Van Helsing, which they had a vampire hunting kit. I don't know if it was authentic or not, but it was still really cool. They had these things like a contaminated Jif peanut butter, like contaminated with salmonella, and then they had the Eloise Asylum coal and another asylum, I think it was Penhurst. They had was it a brick or something from it? I don't know. It's just like really cool stuff, right? It's like, oh well, you know, there's I don't really believe. I think the idea of haunted stuff is cool, but I don't really believe in ghosts. But I think, you know, it's really cool. I love to hear the history of those places. Now I know they had a broom as well. I don't remember what the broom was for. They had some witchcraft stuff. It was cool. I don't remember when it was made. I didn't get the chance to like read that because I was too, you're gonna find out, is because I was too looking at the Ouija boards, one of which I actually used to own. I wasn't allowed to bring it in the house, but it was in the trunk of my car for the longest time. And being an Uber driver was great because when I pick people up at the airport and they want to put their stuff in my trunk, they'd see that and they'd be like, oh, what are you what is this? Why? Like, they would second guess if they wanted to use me as an Uber driver. However, sometimes it led to better tips because I also kept pop-its in my glove box, and I had people go through it and be like, oh my God, why? And it's like only because I like Halloween stuff. I kept that in there for literally no other reason, because I got this stuff from garage sales that they just didn't want anymore. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take your Ouija board. Like, sure, it's cool. Like, I'll collect some stuff, but my husband didn't want the Ouija board in the house, so yeah, I had to keep it in the trunk of my car for like way too long. I didn't know where else to put it, and then eventually we were able to move it to the garage, but never allowed in the house. Oh yeah, they had Freddy Krueger. The eyeballs in that were, if you look closely, which I don't think we ever got a really good close of the Freddy Krueger, but there's eyeballs. Tons of Ouija boards. I didn't count them. I should have looked at, I'm sure somewhere they have it written down how many they have. It is a ton, guys. It is so many. It's like the biggest collection of Ouija boards I've ever seen. And there's some of them are like really unique looking too. I mean, I know what one is my favorite and I know which one is Lila's favorite. I was like, if they have one that Toys R Us made, right? That was actually banned, and it's a pink Ouija board, like Barbie style pink Ouija board. If that was to be made today and sold, I feel like it would sell out, right? Because back in the, when did it come out? I want to say it was like 2008 or somewhere in the earlier 2000s when they came out, and I feel like Satanic Panic was probably much more of a thing, so they were just like, no, you have to get rid of it. Today, I'm sure it would sell out. Everyone would be buying that up. Everyone loves Halloween. You want a good decoration. Ouija boards make good. It's great to put them on the wall. They look cool. They have, like, who would, I mean, it looks, this just screams Barbie Ouija board. I would buy that so quick. Yeah, it did say 2008. I would buy that so quick. I know, we spent a long time looking at that. It was cool. They did have, it's called the Old Lady's Chair. It was a local in Monroe who passed away only like 2 years ago, I think. And they put her chair in the second floor, and it's quote unquote haunted, supposedly, along with some other artifacts that they do own are also haunted, if you do believe in that. But yeah, it's like, that's one of those things, like, you know, definitely show more respect to that, because that is someone who is local to the area that has very recently passed, so they have family members that are more than likely still very, you know, mourning and upset about it. Oh yeah, the Terrifier prop.
You know you can stand up,
Yeah,
right?
you can be at full height.
Just stand up and be like, ta-da! There you go.
I've seen 3 of the Terrifier movies, like the prequel and the other. I have not seen the latest one, but I don't know. I like scary movies, like horror films. I don't particularly enjoy a lot of gory movies, though. Not that they can't be good. I don't think a gory movie by itself makes it good. But I know people who will watch it specifically for that. The different masks from movies were super cool. I'm looking forward to seeing, because I know they have 2 other museums. They have one in Ohio and they have one in Kentucky, I believe, and I really want to go to those eventually one day. And they have a restaurant too. I think it's called The Last Meal. Don't quote me on that. I believe that's what it's called. I was like, I wonder if they have gluten-free options, because that's going to be the only way that I'm going to be able to like eat there. And then of course they have their merch store where you can buy some t-shirts, you can buy pieces of human skin, if that's your thing. I don't know anyone who would want to buy that. Now they did have petrified wood. It is pricey, but I don't know if I've ever seen cheap petrified wood, and it is very cool looking. But that is one thing I thought that is cool. And then, you know, they had like, I think a pickled punks. I want to always say pickled punks, but they have a snake in a jar and formaldehyde, stuff like that. And if that's your thing, like, you know, they have cool merch. Again, a little pricey, but it's going to support, I'm sure that's going to support the museum, keep them getting in new stuff. Honestly, I'm kind of wondering, is like, it looks like they're running out of space, so I wonder if they like switch stuff out every now and then to like keep it fresh, because I know like museums and stuff will do that too for certain areas. They'll be like, okay, we're gonna move a different like exhibit in here. And honestly, I like their movie exhibits. I would like to see more posters on the walls and stuff hanging from the ceilings. I think not enough people look up, but like maybe if they have even more stuff from the ceilings, more people will look up. I have like a giant, maybe not a giant spider, a lot of people have arachnophobia, but have like, if something is like a giant like movie prop up there, that'd be really cool. But yeah, ultimately I had a great time, and then of course we walked around and I got my chips finally that I wanted to get from the public house because it's been a while, and their chips are amazing. Ultimately we had such a good time. I definitely want to visit their other horror museums. I don't know if they have red rooms, and if they do, I will probably avoid the red rooms, but the rest of the museum, I had just a wonderful time. And I know on certain days, I want to say, I believe it's Saturdays, they have ghost hunts at night, so that might be a thing that people might want to go check out. I always like the stories behind those. I don't believe in ghosts, but I always think it's fun to go on those side of things just to hear all the spooky stories. But yeah, I think that's about it. You guys have a lovely spooky time, and I am going to be off to Cedar Point's Halloween's opening night and to Frankenfest for this coming week, so toodles!